has sprung and we are born to run. Hello, my name is Matt Carter. Welcome to episode number 110 of the show right here on Shaw TV. Musical guests right in behind me, Mr. Dave Kilbank and Paul Bezooyen, who just released their second CD, Fire on the Horizon. We're going to hear some songs from that album and find out more about their music over the course of the hour. We do have a great hour set up for you. First off, I'm going to chat with Leon Potter, who's the department chair of VIU's theater department, about VIU's ENCORE campaign, which is seeking to raise funds to upgrade the 40-year-old Malaspina Theater. In other news, all of us around the here that are about 40 years old are quite sad that that's considered out of date. But anyways, we're going to find out more about what you can do to help with the theater and also discuss the legacy of the theater in Nanaimo. Our fitness expert, Casey, she's here to exercise her right for the right to exercise, and she's going to introduce us to Penny Smith and Sandra Urbanowski from Jumpstart Outdoor Fitness, which is a year-round outdoor fitness company. So even though most of us only exercise for the first 3 weeks after New Year's Day, they're going to try to inspire us to actually work out all year round. Now, starting one's own business can be a bit of a challenge at the best of times, but even more challenges are there if you happen to be a youth. So Matthew Hoffman, who swears to help the youth, the whole youth, and nothing but the youth, he's going to find out more about a government-funded program offering free business training for those between the ages of 15 and 29 from career services expert Tamara Cameron. And now what's going to be, I'm sure, a very powerful story, we're going to meet Doug Muir, who's a former whale trainer over with the Vancouver Aquarium, and now he's living with Parkinson's disease. So Lewis is going to chat with him about how he reconciles his former very active career with his lifestyle now. Really looking forward to what Doug has to say. We're also going to meet Polish-Canadian painter and artist Dominik Modlinski, who has produced some incredible paintings, and from that has also developed a TV series here on Shaw called Changing Landscapes. Now Lewis, who's more from the Bob Ross series of painting with the happy, friendly little trees, he's going to find out what Dominik's art is all about. But first up on the show, get ready to meet two Vancouver Island sisters who produced a seafood cookbook back in 2013 that won some major national and international awards. And rumor has it they have a new cookbook coming out. So I'm not going to tell you the name of it, but I'm sure when they're cooking, they'll be very lentil with you. So while your pulse is racing and you're giving peas a chance, this has been your favorite show. It's the show right here on Shaw TV.
With me today are two foodie sisters who have been inspired with food and cooking ever since they were little girls. And they have produced another fabulous book, and it's called The Power of Pulses. Saving the world with peas, beans, chickpeas, favas, and lentils. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Hillary and Allison, welcome. Sorry about that. I'm raving about your book. And Matt was saying you're going to make something fabulous for us today.
We are going to make a beautiful yellow split pea dal today. A nice, simple, approachable recipe. Yeah, using some split peas that we grow in our region.
Excellent. So you'll be doing that. We'll chat. I would love to know how this book came about, because there's also a co-author here that couldn't make it with us here tonight. Could you just tell us a little bit about him and what he does?
So Dan Jason is our wonderful lead author, and he specializes in seeds. He has been growing and harvesting seeds on Salt Spring Island for many, many years, and he's absolutely an expert in his field. And he wanted to do a book that focused on how to grow these wonderful crops in our own gardens. They grow so well here on the West Coast and in North America. So it's just such a timely book, because I think a lot of people are trying to get away from animal sources of protein, get more towards plant-based protein. And so he wanted to do the gardening portion, and we were approached to do the recipes. As we mentioned, we've done a cookbook, and Hillary is an incredible chef. So we kind of collaborated on the recipes and then worked with Dan, and this is the result. We're just really excited about this book.
It's mostly about beans.
That's right. Absolutely.
Okay.
And, Dan will really talk you through how to approach growing these peas, beans, and lentils, and then we'll take those to the kitchen and make some great recipes with them.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about some of the recipes that you have in here, just to give some people a little highlight.
Well, we tried to showcase recipes from the morning to night. So starting with breakfast, you can start your day with pulses. You can do nice northern.
When you mean pulses, you mean like
So we're talking about
Smoothies.
peas, beans, chickpeas, favas, and lentils. Those are the ones that we're focusing on in the book because they grow really well in North America. There are plenty of other ones,
Right.
but this is really trying to teach North American readers specifically how to grow them here.
And not only grow them, but eat them.
eat them,
how
yes,
to how to actually cook with them.
That's right.
Which is so important because a lot of people don't even know how to use certain things.
Yeah, right. Sometimes our pulses take a little bit of forethought, you know, thinking about making sure that you soak them in the evening
Yes.
before. So a little bit of thought goes a long way with pulses.
And you can sometimes freeze certain things. I
That's
know
right.
I do that with my
Absolutely.
chickpeas and my beans. I do soak them, and I will make sure that I freeze them because it's always handy.
Yeah.
You don't always have that forethought.
Exactly. And lentils
Totally.
are wonderful because you don't actually have to soak them overnight.
That's
So
right.
that's one that I go to quite a bit if I'm in a rush and I haven't planned ahead of time. It's get the lentils out, they cook in 20 to 40 minutes, and you have a wonderful meal for your family, and it's just so good for you.
So you're what are you doing in there
Getting
now?
fragrant in here.
it
We've started. We've heated up about a tablespoon of oil. We've taken half an onion, just gotten it nice and soft and translucent. A couple of garlic cloves, about 2 inches of ginger, and so we're just adding our spices, the fragrant part, and so we allow those to toast. That's when those aromas, those oils really get released, and those are going to come through in our nice dal. So we've allowed that to get nice and fragrant here, and we're going to start moving into 1 tomato that we've diced, forming the base of our dal here. We're also going to add actually the stems of cilantro. A lot of people are only thinking about the leaves, but the stems are beautiful and tender, and we're going to add those to the base.
And they would have flavor too.
They
wouldn't
absolutely
they?
have flavor. and
That's
we're gonna
true.
leave the
I always
top.
chop mine off. I won't be
No,
anymore.
Don't do that. So we're gonna add those in. That's gonna kind of cook for a little while with our tomatoes. Again, I can see that we have a beautiful flavor base going here.
Wow.
So then we're gonna kind of deglaze. We've got all these little goodies in the bottom of the pan. I've got some vegetable stock here. We're gonna deglaze that with a little of the vegetable stock, and that's just gonna lift up our little goodies there.
The aroma in here is absolutely amazing. That's great.
And then so what we've done for today is actually I've kind of pre-cooked a few of these yellow split peas just to make it go a little bit quicker. But again, split peas are a better option in terms
they
of...
don't need to be soaked.
Well, they don't. You know what? It's always going to help speed up your cooking process. You certainly could, but these are another good option. When we're thinking about our beans, you certainly want to be thinking about soaking them overnight. That is going to cut down your cooking time by at least half. Yeah.
And do you wash them too after you've soaked them?
Always. So
Okay,
especially
just
with
curious, yeah,
our
'cause I
split
do,
peas,
but-
our lentils, before you start cooking them, you're going to want to go through them, try and find any rocks or any discolored split
Right,
peas or
of
lentils.
course, yeah.
So as I mentioned, we kind of pre-cooked a few of our little yellow split peas here today. We're going to add those in and allow that to just cook for a minute with the rest of our flavor base. And we've added some turmeric, some cumin, some coriander. That turmeric's really helping with the color. It's always so beautiful.
It is.
Yes.
Definitely.
And so what we're going to do at this point is let that cook down. Now what we're going to add today is a little bit of milk, but you could certainly make it dairy-free by adding some coconut milk.
Okay. Excellent. And do you have you guys have a website? Because I've been on your website.
Oh, yes. Well, Hillary runs a catering company here in town
That's
called
right.
Sea Salt Food Co. So it's
That's right.
www.seasaltfoodco.com.
And tell us about your book promotion coming
And
up
so
here.
we are actually doing a launch party for the book with
That's
Dan, and that is taking place at White Sails Brewery downtown on April 24th from 1 to 4 p.m.
Excellent.
And people are welcome to come down, sample a few dishes from the book, have a lovely beer from the brewery, and peruse the book and just visit with friends.
That's
So
great.
it'll be a lovely afternoon.
That's wonderful.
Open to the public.
And I highly recommend the book. I flipped through it. It's awesome. Thank you so much, Hillary and Allison,
Thank
for
you so
joining
much
us
for having
today.
us. Thanks
That
for
was
having us,
great.
Anna.
And now we are going to go over to Matt. He's on the main set. Yay.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much, Anna, and thank you as well, Allison and Hillary, for being here. Congratulations on the new book. Thanks for giving us a lot of food for thought, and I hope you didn't mind the puns off the top, but be a vegetarian cook, you have to have a highly developed sense of hummus. So there we go. Anyways, now we're going to move on to talking about the VIU Theater right now, and about a fundraising campaign looking to upgrade it. Now, myself, when I was a jazz student at VIU, had many graduation concerts there, seen graduations, a lot of other stuff. So now the theater is turning ripe, 40 years old, and to tell us about how we're going to try to improve it, I'm very happy to welcome to the show VIU Theater Department Chair Leon Potter to the show. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, I really want to get your sort of vibe on theaters in general, because looking at your bio, you've worked in theater academically and professionally in London, Edinburgh, New York, as well as here on the coast. So what makes a great professional theater venue?
Basically what really, I mean, honestly, it comes down to versatility and professionalism, really. When you walk into any kind of venue or performance space, if you work as a roadhouse or a venue where other people rent and do shows, you want to be able to walk in and you want to be able to have it look professional, you want it to look clean, you want it to be ready for anything that you're going to throw at it. So you don't want to have to worry about old things that are running down, that are broken down, and things like that. What you want is a space where you can walk in, you say, hey, do you have one of these? Yes, I do. They're over here. Do you have a couple of tables I can borrow? Sure, no problem. You want the answer to be yes rather than no, right? No, we don't have any of those. No, you want the answer to be, yep, sure, no, let me see what I can do. That's basically what makes a really good venue.
And I know talking before coming on air here, you mentioned how also representing the university community, it's often sort of the first point of entrance for a lot of people coming to the university.
Absolutely. A lot of people come to the university. We get on average somewhere between 12 and 15,000 people coming through the theater, just the theater. Over the course of a year. That's not just our shows, obviously, but that's all the students. The students come in and they come to the university, and we are where they do their orientations, and they get their student packages, and they get the welcome to VIU speeches and all this kind of stuff. And then they go off and they do their thing and they have their 4 years, and over the course of their time there, they will come back into the theater quite often. Now, that's just the students. On top of the students, we have all of these different community groups from literally all over the place. Groups from Vancouver, groups that are being brought in from other professional companies, theater companies, dance companies, music concerts. All, promoters are contacting us. We have political debates going on there. We have the English department has their colloquiums going on. We have lectures going on. So on top of being a classroom and a performance space, and an educational institution where we teach our students to run theaters and act and perform and tech and lights and sound, etc. We are also a roadhouse. We're also a space where different community groups come in and they want a space that they can come into, they can feel proud of, that we can feel proud of. We say welcome. So far we're taking the opportunity, the 40th anniversary opportunity, to really clean it up. Over the years, we've kept up with the technical aspect, but now we need to have a look, give it a bit of a facelift, make it a place where people can come in and say, hey, come into the lobby.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm going to ask you in a moment here just about some of the things that can be freshened up. I believe, Dax, we have a little bit of footage to roll there, just sort of showing some of the chairs and the state that.
Probably. Very good. It looks awful. No, the truth of the matter is it isn't just, people say squeaky seats. Yes, squeaky seats. That's one thing. But the other thing is that these seats are bolted to the back wall, which means after 40 years of people sitting in the seat, pulling on the bolts, there are a lot of them that feel like they're going to throw you into the row in front of you. And you don't want that when you're sitting down trying to enjoy a show or listen to a lecture or a speech or anything along those lines. So, yes, they're squeaky, yes, but the theater seats are supposed to last about 20 years. These have serviced us very well for 40 years. And now what we're doing is we're having a campaign called the ENCORE campaign, a renewal, an upheaval. So basically what's going to happen is you have the opportunity to buy a seat. And what that means is you can actually have that seat, and you'll have a little plaque on the arm that has 16 characters, 2 lines of 16 characters, where you can dedicate it to somebody who particularly likes theater or something along those lines. You can advertise your business there. You can have a group of people. One group of students actually got together and bought one of the seats and then put all of their initials on it and stuff like that. So it's there's a lot of opportunities. So we're trying to reach out to the community right now. We've had really good feedback from the Alumni Association. We've had really good feedback from the faculty on campus, and now we're trying to reach out to the local community and say, here's an opportunity to have a seat. And with 15,000 people coming through that theater throughout every single year, for the next 40 years, they're going to see a little name and know that behind that seat there's a story and somebody donating to the theater and helping to replace the seats.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you, Leon, so much for your time here and letting us know about, again, the state of the theater and how folks can improve that. On the web, check it out to viu.ca/encore for information on how you can donate, the different levels of donation, again, how you can contribute to the legacy of the theater. So again, thank you very much, Leon, for your time.
Thank you so much for having me on it.
Perfect. All right. So now we're going to throw over to our musical guests, Dave Kilbank and Paul Bezooyen. We're going to hear the title track from their new CD, Fire on the Horizon.
On stepping stones and swirling eddies. This could be beautiful, this could be treacherous. Hungry wolves are closing in on us. It's always been this way. Millstone turning endlessly. Daily bread and daily prayers. Daily hope for better days. Fire on the horizon. Embers light the night. Paralyzed by choosing between fight or flight. Light billboard show lovers kissing. I should be happy, but something's missing. Consumer training, building faces. Consumer train eating holes in wild places. It's always been this way. Work to live, escape the pain. Bread and daily prayers. Daily hope for better days. Fire on the horizon. Embers light the night. Paralyzed by choosing between fight or flight. Choices, no truth is heard in all these voices. The world is shaped by deeds or inaction. No truth made this untended mansion. It's always been this way. Millstone turning endlessly. Daily bread and daily prayers. Daily hope for better days. Fire inside the night, paralyzed by choosing between fight or flight.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was excellent, you guys. Hi, I'm Casey Scott, and I am here today with Penny Smith from Jumpstart Outdoor Boot Camp and my good friend and co-worker, Sandra Ubanowski. She is also a co-fitness trainer with me. Welcome to the show, ladies. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Penny, you just recently bought the company. It was formerly called Jumpstart Boot Camp, and you have taken upon yourself and changed the name to Jumpstart Outdoor Fitness. There must be some significance behind that change.
Yeah, when I started as a participant for Jumpstart years ago, one of my biggest problems was the word boot camp. I was afraid I wasn't going to be fit enough. I was going to embarrass myself. I wasn't going to be able to do it. I didn't want to be yelled at, and I, for the most part, don't get yelled at. And so when I first started, I realized that it wasn't that scary, but I didn't want new people coming in to have that same fear. And outdoor fitness, it sounds more positive, right? And that's what we're doing. We're outdoors, we're working out.
We definitely are. So, Sandra, as a trainer, tell me, do you need to be fit to go to these classes?
Well,
Sort of the cliche, right?
yeah, and everybody thinks you have to be fit to start, but we work you into it. It's all in progression, as any fitness is for anybody. We have modifications for every exercise, or we can change exercises up to suit you. That's what a good trainer does.
And we're going to show you that later in the show. What about running? Do you have to be able to run? Everybody thinks you go to outdoor classes and you're going to be all over these locations and you got to be able to run and keep up with everybody, right?
Yeah, everybody thinks cardio is running. Cardio is getting your heart rate up. And so whether it's walking or a fast walk or a run, we make it work for everybody. We manage all of the classes so that everybody can participate, and we make it happen.
We do. Penny, talk to me about the benefits of working out outside. It's amazing.
Well, besides the obvious, getting the fresh air and being with nature, there's growing research showing that when you work out outside, people are happier, they're less stressed out, they stay motivated. Working in a group setting like ours, I find that you're more accountable and you're more motivated when you're working with a group of people. And it's just so much less stressful. You're not in a stuffy gym.
For sure. Speaking of being outside, I know when I moved here, I didn't know half the amazing locations that Nanaimo has. Sandra, talk to me about locations. I think we have some pictures actually of some of the crazy, awesome places that these ladies run these classes. Sandra?
Yeah, the first picture is Sugarloaf Mountain down by Departure Bay. And this is Westwood Lake. And this is at Long Lake. And we get to do at every location we run in, or we use, we do so many different combinations of workouts, and there's so many beautiful views, sunsets, sunrises, there's wildlife, there's fresh air, it's just amazing. And it's almost like a tour, a fitness tour of Nanaimo.
It really is a great way if you're new to town to learn your way around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody who lives in Nanaimo knows that a lot of people in Nanaimo are shift workers. That's always a problem. How do we get around that with Jumpstart?
We try to cater to everybody with our times. We have Monday to Friday, we have 6 in the morning, we have 9:15, we have 6:15 at night, 7 o'clock at night. We have a Saturday class. We try to get to everybody. We have the regulars that come to their certain spots, and then we have drop-ins come in all the time and starting up with us.
Class, no excuses. Really quickly now, winter time. I get asked all the time, are you kidding me? You guys actually work outside in the winter? Quickly, Sandra.
Yeah, working out in the winter, we can help you figure out how to dress in layers. As you warm up, the layers come off. As you cool down at the end, layers come back on. It's all in personal preference as to what you wear when you're working out.
All right, so we'll be back a little bit later in the show to put these girls to work.
Hi, I am here with Tamara Cameron. We're here to talk about her Ethos Career Management Group and how they cater to helping the youth start up businesses. Can you please tell us how this all began? How long have you guys been running this organization?
Well, we're actually a small business ourselves in Nanaimo. We've been running for 15 years. During that time, we've offered a number of programs from job search programs to self-employment, so helping people start their own businesses. We've helped quite a number of businesses in Nanaimo start up. We've also been running a youth program in Victoria for the last 5 years. And this is actually a new program for us. It's called Business Works for Youth, and it's running in Victoria, Nanaimo, and Duncan at the same time.
Well, that's great. And how, like, who can sign up for these sort of things, and who do they cater to?
Well, this program is specifically for youth, and it's funded through the government, so there's absolutely no fees involved, but there is eligibility. So you have to be between the ages of 15 and 29. You can't be a full-time student, and you also can't be working full-time. So you can be working part-time and take the program for free, and the program runs for about 4 months.
Awesome. So it's really dedicated for those people that are kind of have high aspirations and want to get somewhere in life, right? But are kind of stuck. But this program itself can kind of help them out and give them a start.
I think it's a pretty daunting enterprise for anybody to start a new business, particularly if you're young. You know that there's a lot of skills involved, and you know you can't afford to hire people to do it for you. So that means that you're learning all the time how to market yourself, how to build a website, how to do your finances. So we're really designed to support young people gaining these skills and help them through those hurdles.
That's great. And do you have any sort of workshops can you talk about those that you have in the program?
Yeah, once you've been accepted into the program, we run a number of workshops from marketing to business plan development. We really focus on starting your business. So a business plan is necessary to take to financial institutions to get financing. We also teach you how to get clients, how to set up your brand, how to do those basic auditing and tax tips that you need to know. I mean, there's quite a lot of skills involved, and we also will bring in people to train the young people on special skills if they're interested more in social media, for example.
Yeah, and those are huge skills to learn. I know for myself coming in, I didn't know where to go, right? So these sort of businesses can kind of help those youth move forward and have accomplishments, right? Do you have any sort of advice that you can give any aspiring entrepreneurs?
Well, I would say don't do it alone, for one. You know, find a mentor. At least with our program, we help you find those mentors. And be passionate about your idea. Starting a business is a lot of work, so it really has to be something that you're dedicated to. I mean, are you dedicated to putting lashes on women's eyes, making them look pretty? Are you really passionate about catering food? You have to invest a lot of time, so you've got to have that passion.
Awesome. Well, I do want to thank you for coming onto the show. It was great to have you. Before we turn over, do you have any sort of anything you'd like to tell the audience on how they can enroll to your guys' program?
Yes, it's just a matter of calling us or checking out our website and contacting us, and we'll get a hold of you right away. And we have a business coach who'll talk to you and discuss whether your business idea is viable, whether we think that it'll make money, and we can help you fine-tune that business idea.
Awesome. Well, once again, thank you. I will now turn over to Matt Carter, where he's going to recap the show. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Matthew. Appreciate that. And thanks to Mara as well. And great to hear about the opportunities for youth getting out there, making a difference, support here in Nanaimo. Awesome stuff. All right, you are watching the show right here on Shaw TV. We're about halfway through the program right now. And so far, we started off by getting cooking. We talked about the new cookbook, The Power of Pulses, which will also have a book launch for that down at White Sails Brewing in downtown Nanaimo on April 24th. We also learned about VIU's ENCORE campaign, which is raising funds to help support upgrading the Malaspina Theatre. We just learned about the Jumpstart outdoor fitness program in Nanaimo, and of course, as you just saw, found out about the Business Works youth program and training for young entrepreneurs. Coming up on the show, we're going to meet our musical guests, just chilling out right behind me right now, Dave Kilbank and Paul Bezooyen. As well, we're going to meet painter and TV host Dominik Modlinski, and we'll bring back Casey, Sandra, and Penny of Jumpstart Outdoor Fitness to get ourselves exercising. But first, right now, Lewis is going to introduce us to our next guest. He's a former whale trainer at the Vancouver Aquarium, now living with Parkinson's disease. Really interested to hear his story and hear what he's going to say. So, Lewis, send it over to you.
Great. Thanks very much, Matt. And Doug, welcome to the show.
Thanks very much for inviting me.
So you've done a number of things in your life, including training whales. What's it like to train a whale?
Well, it's a whale of a tail, that's for sure. You begin with taking the animal who's in captivity. It doesn't have to be whale, but excuse me for mumbling. From the
We have a picture of you actually back in your younger days. You're actually training a porpoise in this particular picture. Is it similar to training whales and porpoises?
No, actually, it was that's a dolphin.
A dolphin, oh yes, I always get them mixed up.
The porpoises are smaller.
Okay.
So when we first caught Scanna, I was rather a stroke of luck because I just happened to be on a walk through Stanley Park one day and went by the new aquarium, and as they just happened to have excuse me for.
Well, Scanna was the first. No, that was the second whale. Second killer whale that the Vancouver Aquarium had caught. That was back in the 60s, right?
Right. She was called her female, but in actual fact, he was a male.
Uh-huh.
And so that lasted about a year. And
then well, you trained the whale for what period of time, but then you.
Well, yes. I decided that I would like to see more of the world, and up I took for a 3-month trip and came back in 5 years. So
longest 3 months of your life, eh?
Really was. I packed a lot in there.
Well, you were in business, and you were doing import and exporting, and you were. And what else did you do? You had a very checkered, sort of a very busy and successful business life at the end after all that.
Yes, it was. I first went to Japan for a trip with the YMCA in 1965, and that got me interested in international travel. And when I fell out of love with the idea of having whales in captivity, and so I decided to leave that frame.
Well, now that you're sort of life has changed now radically. You've contracted Parkinson's. What's it like now that you talk a little bit about how the changes of your life now that you've got Parkinson's done?
Well, actually, a very good example of that is in my presentation here today. I used to think twice about having performing in front of 2,000 people 5 times a day.
As a whale trainer?
I was a whale trainer, but over dolphins or any mammals, mammals. And so I decided on a trip to Japan to visit my brother-in-law that I should bring some wood from Canada and put it all in a trade show. So I did that, and that launched a career in business, the sale of houses, prefabricated houses in Japan. And then when the yen died, I had to do something, and so I started bringing things from China into the U.S.
Yeah, and then so now it's very, very challenging. Of course, now you can't do the things you used to do. How do you cope with it all now? Your wife, Avis, she's been there by your side, supporting you, and I'm sure that helps a bit. And
yeah, well,
quite a lot.
It's the most insidious disease that one can think of, because you look at a person, ostensibly you look at me from the outside, not a bad package.
Yeah.
But,
very difficult.
Parkinson's tackles every part of your body. I've had it, I figure, for about 17 years. I was diagnosed at 10 to 12 years. These are nerves.
Yeah. This is actually a special month. This happens to be Parkinson's month, and so people want to find out more about Parkinson's disease. They can actually contact you if they want. They can talk to you. And also there's the Parkinson's Society of BC. That information is on the screen for people that might want to see that.
Right.
And people want to get the kind of support that you get or want information, they can contact the society.
There's 12,000 people that have Parkinson's disease in British Columbia.
Yeah. Well, listen, Doug, I really want to thank you for coming and sharing with me, and you're an inspiration. You really are.
Sorry, thanks very much.
It's a pleasure. I want to throw it over to, I should have this information in front of me, Matt Carter and Paul and the fellow musician there.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much, Louis. And thank you as well, Doug, for coming on the show. So great to hear your story, and also great to hear you speak frankly about Parkinson's and stuff like that. So obviously very illuminating for viewers. So again, thank you for being here. All right, so here on the show, it's time now to meet our musical guests right beside me, creators of the Hermit's Music record label, both with decades in the music business and now, as far as I'm concerned, essential listening for music fans on the island. Dave Kilbank and Paul Bezooyen, thank you guys very much for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you for having us. It's great.
Great to be. Well, I must admit, if I'm going to claim decades of experience in the music industry, I may as well get you guys to step up and prove me right, hopefully. So,
no,
it's
been decades. We're old guys, for sure. We were actually part of the 60s folk generation for real, like we were alive then, so yeah.
Everyone said it, people actually were.
And I remember it. Anyway, yeah, Paul and I met in 2010 at the Songwriters Circle Gathering, which happens on the first Thursday of every month at Oak Tree Manor. And we had been each playing songs for a long time solo, and we ended up liking each other's material so much that we said, let's get together and try some things together. And that led to us starting to write together, and we did a CD in 2013, and we've just released our second CD.
Nice. Yeah, we'll get to the second CD in a bit. I do want to ask, what are sort of the pros, and if there are any cons, about songwriting as a duo as opposed to a solo actor as part of a larger band?
Well, I find, for myself personally, just the direction that it can go in after the basic song is written. Paul is a very good guitar player, does fabulous harmonies, and that always takes me into a new place that I haven't been before. That's what it really does for me. And of course, he can bring ideas that I didn't have, and vice versa.
It's the old cliche, two heads are better than one, and it's very interesting because we each have very different skills, and those skills are very synergistic, and so we each bring things to the table, and it's really fun when you start mixing all that stuff together, and when just personal compatibility, we leave our egos at the door, and we just love to create together. So there's not too many cons, lots of pros. Yeah,
it's nice. I want to ask you about the new CD, and interesting to talk about, again, as a duo. On the 13 songs on the CD, 6 written by you, 1 co-written song, so really equal. Now, so tell us about the album. And I read an interview or review that said it had a bit of a somber and edgier tone compared to your previous work.
Our first CD was very uplifting, almost. Could even say naive in a way, idealistic, but that was a deliberate attempt to put something really positive out there. This time around, we decided that we should be a little more realistic because of the way the world is going, the things that are in the news and that, and yet still find a way to keep positive throughout that. So.
Yeah, it's really one of the things that we always need to do is have critical thinking, and in the digital world sometimes we forget to do that. And so it was funny that we were both in the same place in the songwriting world. We were both in this place of trying to question our beliefs, question things, and so that's just the way the album organically evolved. We were both in that same place, and the songs just seem to all go together. Yeah. So, and
then of course, once we realized we were going in that direction, we sort of kept it going.
Yeah, we kept it on the tracks. Yeah.
Well, you guys, just do your own music, also doing some great stuff promoting other artists. So
Yeah.
I know Dave hosts the Songwriter Circle on CHOI.
That's
and
right.
also Paul, sort of, again, so I guess taking the lead on the record label, the Hermit's Music. Tell us really quickly just about that.
Yeah, it just started with my own first solo album, but since moving to the island about 10 years ago, meeting all these amazing musicians and songwriters, it ended up being a bit of a family of people that collaborated and helped each other on each other's projects. And it's a great little place for people to learn how to do an album, what's involved in recording. It's we've got a nice small studio that a lot of people can get involved in, and so it's a growing community. We invite people to contact us, and if they have projects that they want to do, you know, it's a collaboration of folks that want to help each other, and that's really what it's turned into, a little cooperative community of songwriters. We have a bunch of albums out now from different artists, Callie Massey, Bob Enns, Mary Fahey, and our own. It's a great community of people.
So drop you off there and move on back to some music. But again, to find out more about the record and you guys, thehermitsmusic.com. I know you can also search you guys on Bandcamp, so get that album and check it
Hermits
out.
without an apostrophe. Just the Hermits Music. Just all
Exactly.
one word.com.
Perfect. All right, let's have another song from you guys. Again, from the new album, Fire on the Horizon. Here's a track called Can't Get There From Here. Dave Kilbank, Paul Bezooyen on the show.
Thanks, Matt.
1, 2, 3, and...
I want peace for all the world, but I can't get there from here. I need love from a beautiful girl, but I can't get there from here. I've given everything I've ever had, ever since I was just a little lad. Though I always fail and sometimes get mad, won't turn the good boy bad. Eyes on the prize, I can almost see it, it's near. No big surprise, I just can't get there from here. You want peace and love like me, but you can't get there from here. We need everyone to feel free, but we can't get there from here. It shouldn't be too much to ask, with everybody working on the very same task. Please don't hide yourself behind a mask, drown in a spirit flask. Eyes on the prize, I can almost see it, it's near. No big surprise, I just can't get there from here. I can almost see it, it's near. No big surprise, I just can't get there from here. Door is locked and the window is barred. Barbed wire fence built around your yard, keeping you safe but making exploring hard. The road is blocked and there's no U-turn. Ferry is sunk and the bridge is burned. Flights are canceled, but I am not concerned. Eyes on the prize, I can almost see it, it's near. No big surprise, I just can't get there from here. Eyes on the prize, I can almost see it, it's near. No big surprise, I believe we'll get there from here.
Right. Nice music, guys. Thank you very much. So tonight I've had with my guests, I've got Dominik Modlinski, noted Canadian artist, and I have some of his works here beside me. Dominik, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be on the show.
Believe you to join me. So you're not only an artist, you're a teacher, you're a traveler, and you're an ecologist too.
Yes, it's kind of a combination of all, a jack of all trade. I started painting when I was a small child and professionally for over 26 years. The career have evolved, obviously, over the years. I ended up also teaching many workshops in last decade and sharing my passion for art and my knowledge of painting that I have acquired. I have traveled all over the world, from the high Arctic, Greenland, to Antarctica, South America, Africa, and I try to capture the changing landscapes, the ever-changing landscapes which are disappearing these days at such an alarming pace. My paintings are basically journals, reflections of those landscapes that I see and record.
You've been developing a series of videos with Shaw Television called Changing Landscapes.
Yes.
You've one going through Bolivia. I think we have a little movie of your some of your travels through Bolivia. Can you talk a little bit about that, Dominik?
Yes. 2 years ago, we and my partner, Scott Wilson, filming partner, we went to Bolivia for over 6 weeks, and we filmed our first season, Changing Landscape Bolivia, right on location. We have traveled over 10,000 kilometers on bikes with art supplies and full high-definition video recording equipment. It was extremely challenging but extremely rewarding. And right now, thanks to Shaw and you guys, we are able to see the 8 episodes on television.
I think you're also doing one about Vancouver Island that's coming up. Has that been done or is that coming up already?
We have shot all 13 episodes already in October. Right now, they're just finishing touches done on the editing, and it will be coming to Shaw very soon this spring. It's going to be 13 episodes, and we journey again with art supplies and video through different communities of the Vancouver Island.
So will we be seeing displays of your work? Will you have a gallery showing of your work anytime soon?
Actually, we are kind of lucky that I have all this work here because I'm working, just finishing a really big solo show at Canada House Gallery in Banff, Alberta. It's one of my biggest galleries that represents my work besides mountain galleries. And so at home right now, I have lots of work, so I was able to actually bring some of the studio works here. They are leaving my studio in about 2 weeks.
This is a really magnificent one. It's obviously of South American origin. Could you tell a little bit about the painting, the inspiration?
Yeah, this is a very special painting both for me and Scott because it's based on our experience down in Bolivia and Peru. This is obviously a painting representing an indigenous boy holding very big condor feather and with the sun god in the background. And this is actually our team painting for the Changing Landscapes TV.
It's a very beautiful one. So you say that now there's another season coming down the pipe very soon here on Shaw Television, eh?
Yes, after the Vancouver Island, we are hoping to shoot another season, and right now we are just brainstorming where to go. You know, the world is the limit. Maybe we go to Greenland, maybe we go to South America. I don't know yet. We have to decide. Maybe the public can give us some tips where to go.
Well, I guess they could contact you and maybe give you some ideas, or Shaw Television.
Of course.
I'd like to, there is a little video, a promo video, so people can see just what they'll be looking at in future seasons with your work. And I want to thank you, Dominik, for joining me on the show. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Some really magnificent artwork. Thank you.
Hey, no matter, Paul. This is that guy. I was just waiting for that. From Alert Bay. Whisper and Sardine, they're on camera.
Casey Scott here, and I am back with Penny and Sandra from Jumpstart Outdoor Fitness, and we are going to put these girls to work now. So sometimes when you're outside, the ground is all muddy, and it's just not a good time to be getting down for push-ups. So here's some ways that you can use your buddies in your boot camp to do some partner push-ups. We're going to put our hands together. Notice the angle of their bodies. So this takes a lot of core strength. We are huge on core strength, aren't we? Because we want to prevent injuries before they happen. So one of you is pushing with one arm and resisting with the other arm. A lot like you're on the ground doing a push-up, but it's using a lot more muscles. We are working both arms in both directions. So Sandra, tell me though, if you didn't have a partner, you could be doing this outside?
You can be pushing up on a tree, on a park bench, on the ground. There's different modifications for ground push-ups. Yeah, the sky's the limit.
That's right. Let's move to our lower bodies. We're going to get into a lunge position. Again, a great fun way to do this with your partner. And we're going to start out with the hardest variation, so don't panic. We will modify this. Let's go. And jump. And 2. And 3. One more. And 4. So if you've got bad knees or you're just not at that fitness level where jumping is the right thing to do, let's modify that with just a step back lunge. Oh, we're just going to make that easier. See, these guys are diehards. Step back.
Okay, ready?
Step back, feet together. Change legs. So you can see you don't always have to be at full impact. We can modify this. So let's imagine now Sandra wants to keep working really hard, but Penny here has knee and injuries that don't let her lunge at all. So we're going to push our hands together really, really hard. Sandra's going to go ahead into her lunge. She can still get that workout. Her partner's not holding her back in any way. And you can feel your core engaging there, Penny. All the stability muscles in your arms are working. Fantastic. We're going to grab the elastics, a really simple tool we use quite often because if we are running around different locations, these are really easy to pack around. Now, I'm assuming different tensions?
Yeah, for the sets that we use, the red is the easiest, blue is the medium, and black's the hardest.
Excellent. So what do you want to use right now? Because you love abs. All right. So grabbing on to your handles, standing nice and tall. Penny's going to stay still. This is actually one of the hardest things is just to stabilize. Sandra's going to go to work here, and she's twisting. Just give me a couple. One more. Holding still. We're going to switch it off to Penny. Total core strength going on here. Excellent. Flip around. We don't want to leave you guys lopsided. If you want to make this harder, what are you going to do? Bring your feet closer together. Less stability. Go ahead. Fantastic. And Penny. Whoa. So great core strength, great arm work. With that being said, Penny, what do you want people to take home from what we've talked about today?
I think that the biggest thing with Jumpstart Outdoor Fitness is we just want people to focus on healthy, fit bodies, not the scale, what you ate, what you didn't eat, just celebrating coming out and committing yourself 1 hour a couple times a week to being healthy and being outside and making new friends.
It's healthy lifestyle, it's healthy living. You know, taking care of your body is paramount.
And as we said, it's a great way to meet new people, to find all the beautiful different locations that are available to you in Nanaimo. If people are interested in this and they want to become a part of this fantastic organization, how do we find you?
We have a new website that's just being launched. It's www.jumpstartoutdoorfitness.ca. And I also have an email, and it's Penny, Pennie, at jumpstartoutdoorfitness.ca.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on the show with me today.
Thanks.
We've got extra elastics here.
No, that's why I was trying to hide.
You came for the workout. He always jumps into the last bit of the workout.
I dressed in my soccer dad outfit, so I'm not really ready to go.
Next show you're on.
I'm down with it. All right, Casey, Sandra, Penny, thank you guys so much for being here today. Again, representing Jumpstart Outdoor Fitness, wonderful stuff. Inspiring for me, because I can't remember the last time I had a serious workout, but I know something will jog my memory in a crunch. You actually usually like to exercise around noon, because I've told noon is lunchtime. Around noon is lunchtime. I know lunchtime is a bit of a stretch. All right, anyways, if you're done your stretching, you can take a break for some bench press coffee. I mean, don't drink too much or you have loud burpees. Anyways, also I should tell you about the competitive trampoline team I just started with Mr. Nicholson, Mr. Sparrow, Mr. Kerouac. We call ourselves the Jumping Jacks. Jumping Jacks, come on. Charlotte booed me. All right, anyways, we're going to say thanks to all of our guests, hardworking volunteers and staff in front of the cameras and behind the scenes here on the show. You can find the show on Facebook, facebook.com/theshowonshaw. And hey, you can find previous episodes of the show on YouTube as well. Just search for Shaw TV, Central Vancouver Island. Hey, if you have an event, cause, demonstration, or issue you'd like to bring to the show, we're always looking for great Central Island guests, so drop a line to our executive producer, Kate Bergen, or volunteer on the show, drop a line to Melissa Hall, melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. All right, before we go, one more song for our gentleman right behind us, Dave Kilbank and Paul Bezooyen. Do you wonder why? Thanks so much for watching.
the world get worse each week. You can't deny it, looks quite bleak. We've got big men with big guns who justify with double speak. Still I keep smiling. Do you wonder why? I talk to people every day. You won't believe the things they say. They've got big mouths and big heads, but act like little children at play. Still I keep smiling. Do you wonder why? Mother Nature's got an ace up her sleeve, surprises that we just can't conceive. The dinosaurs got no reprieve. No need to make a fuss, it's all so much bigger than us. They say that's just the way it goes.
Just the way it goes.
Y'all could fall like dominoes.
Just like dominoes.
We've got big deals and big plans and propaganda videos.
What a show.
Still I keep smiling. Do you wonder why? Mother Nature's got an ace up her sleeve, surprises that we just can't conceive. The dinosaurs got no reprieve. No need to make a fuss, it's all so much bigger than us. Mother Nature's got an ace up her sleeve, surprises that we just can't conceive. The dinosaurs got no reprieve. No need to make a fuss, it's all so much bigger than us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.